All righty. Welcome everybody to Monday Night Live, and I'm so thankful for your patience. My name is Michelle Stuchel, and I'm an Emerald Ambassador, and you are on here because you want your business to grow, right? And you want to impact more people, want to change more lives. And our opportunity is incredible because we have life-changing products. And you just heard Leah's story, and they are absolutely life-changing. So Leah was one of them. I'm one of them. Raise your hand if your life has been changed by these products. Please raise your hand. That is right. And so we always need to fan into flame the fire that got us going in the first place, okay? We need to fan into fire what got us going in the first place. And you may have heard this analogy. I'm gonna go ahead and start sharing my screen. Desktop, share, keynote, play. Okay, can you see my screen? Emily, okay, thumbs up, great. Now I'm gonna minimize this. Okay, whoops. Well, somehow I cannot see the cursor to minimize this. I'm trying to minimize the windows. Whoops. Okay, anyway, let's see. You need to fan into flame the fire that got us going in the first place, right? So, oh, this is really complicated, everybody. I am having to, good night, let people in the waiting room. Well, I'm just going to have to do it like that. Okay, put this way so I can, it's not going to let me do the whole screen, everybody, because I'm needing to let people in the waiting room. Okay. Well, oh, bless it. Sorry, everybody. This is a little complicated because there's 7 people in here. Stop the screen share. Okay, because it's not letting me make a co-host. Okay, now let's go back to my screen share. Share. Okay, so you may have heard this analogy that your business is like an airplane and you need your own personal why. That's the fuel for your plane. The action, the right activity, your IPA is one wing, right? Personal growth is the other wing, and you need both wings to fly. Guess what the actual airplane is? It's the products. We would not even have a business if it wasn't for our life-changing products. And in order to reach the top, you need 100% rock solid belief in network marketing, in yourself, and in our products. And so that's what we're doing tonight. We're going to do a refresher on our products. And actually, this whole week could be called Product Belief Week, right? Because we've got a wellness reveal. We're going to be launching a new product. And raise your hand if you're registered with new claims. We've got new claims coming out, highlighting new products and some products that are less well known, that don't get enough attention. And so we're going to take this week and we are really going to dig in, okay? Let's see. Now, in 3.5 years, I've been doing this almost 3.5 years. I've yet to see somebody that has rock solid belief that is not sharing these products. You'd have to be the most selfish person on the planet to not talk about them if you know what you have your hands on. We have life-changing products that every man, woman, and child needs. Once you know how and what these products do for the body, you cannot stop talking about them, right? Now, you know how when you buy a car, all you see on the road is white cars? That's what it's like. Once you know what these products can do, how they address the roots of 90% of the health issues we deal with in this country, names will start popping in your head. This person has migraines, this person has thyroid issues, this person's on blood pressure meds, anxiety meds, fatigue, allergies, food sensitivities, ADD, ADHD, kids on the spectrum, hormonal imbalances. I mean, I could keep going on and on and on, right? And as a business builder, you have to keep your belief high in all these areas, in network marketing, in yourself, and in our products. Okay, now when I typed in gut health into Google, oh, let's see, someone's not muted. Let me see. Oh, well, I have to stop sharing my screen and I'm not going to do that. When I typed in gut health, 845 million links popped up in 0.98 seconds. Okay. Let me start out with this article that I found in Fortune Business Insight. Okay. Listen to this and read along with me. This was published this month, February 2021. The global impact of COVID has been staggering, with digestive health products having a positive demand shock across all regions amid the pandemic. The market is projected to grow from, well, that should just say 42.19 billion in 2020 to 71.95 billion in 2027 in this 7-year period. The growing prevalence of digestive disorders, rising overall health concerns among the population, increasing geriatric population, and increasing demand for natural and safe products are the major factors contributing to the market growth. The digestive system performs essential functions for the body and to maintain good health. Thus, it is vital to maintain gut health through dietary supplements and other food products. Okay. It goes on. Despite the logistic and other economic restrictions faced by the world due to the pandemic, the demand for gut health products is expected to grow at a rapid pace. With coronavirus rampaging across the globe, the key market players made sure to deliver good health to people without hindrance. People are highly aware of the health benefits of probiotics, dietary supplements, and other products, and their importance during this dangerous viral pandemic. The use of probiotics as a dietary supplement has become a new way to control infections in this modern era, although we know it's not a new way. The probiotics act as a beneficial bacterial to protect against the detrimental bacteria in the GI tract and thus reap a positive health benefit. Probiotics and dietary supplements can act as substitutes for pharmaceutical solutions as they help treat gastrointestinal conditions without any major side effects. Listen, this article, this is not about the business, but this article should whet your fire. It should light your fire. And it basically says that our industry is going to double within the next 7 years globally, worldwide, and we are leading that market in the United States with a global strategy. And this is a business article, people, okay? I really encourage you to read it, and I'll put it in the comments when I post this recording. Okay, so let's start here. Let's talk about gut health, like they talked about. Your gut is not just the control center for your immunity. Estimates are anywhere between 70 to 80% of your immune system is in your gut. Your gut is also the control center for your brain, your mood. Have you heard of the gut-brain axis? 90% of your body's mood-boosting serotonin is made in your gut by specific strains of bacteria. And if you don't have those strains of bacteria, you will not have enough serotonin. Now, Hippocrates first said that all disease begins in the gut, and he was right. You can Google just about any ailments with the word "and gut health" and find scores of articles. And because of our culture, our food processed, replete of nutrients, antibiotics, popping a Tylenol, the delicate balance of gut flora is disrupted. Not only is the delicate balance of bacteria disrupted, but because of the disruption, Candida is allowed to flourish. Okay, quick little lesson about yeast. Everybody's born with a little bit of yeast, but the only reason that researchers have determined that we have yeast is because it decomposes our bodies when we die. It begins poking holes through the intestinal lining of your gut, allowing food particles, digestive juices, bacteria, viruses to enter the bloodstream, wreaking havoc on the body. not only do our bodies need to increase the good bacteria in our gut because we don't get what we need from food sources, but we also need to kill off the yeast. Otherwise, we've not dealt with the root issue. Now, hear me. Adding good bacteria without killing off the yeast does not deal with the whole problem. So let's talk about our first product, Probio 5. Okay, it's different than any other probiotic on the market for two primary reasons. One is that it's freeze-dried, which means we have probiotic stability. Most probiotics on the market are actually heat activated. So as soon as you put them in your mouth, the bacteria begins to die, and it does not make it to your gut where it needs to do its job, okay? It also has enzymes that kill yeast overgrowth, allowing the proper balance of yeast to be in your system. And it also has 5 strains of highly studied bacteria, some of the most highly studied bacteria out there. Now let's quickly go through these strains of bacteria, and I will post this PowerPoint in the comments when I post the recording. Okay, the first one is Lactobacillus Acidophilus, okay? Now this is found in a lot of yogurts, dairy products. It's a very, very, very popular, okay? Now this gives an indication of what it produces, its name. It produces lactic acid, and it does this by producing an enzyme called lactase, and it breaks down lactose, a sugar found in milk. Okay, now this particular bacteria helps maintain healthy cholesterol levels, may prevent and reduce diarrhea from antibiotics, infections, may improve symptoms of IBS, may prevent vaginal disorders and yeast infections, and may be effective for weight loss, may reduce cold symptoms, especially in children, may reduce the symptoms of allergies, and also reduce the prevalence and symptoms of eczema, and produces lactic acid, which may prevent harmful bacteria from colonizing in the intestines. Okay, that's the first strain. The second strain is Bifidobacterium Longum. I have trouble with that one. This one, studies show that it boosts immunity. It may decrease and treat gastrointestinal infections. It actually may reduce the risk of colorectal cancer, again, eczema prevention, and increases the bioavailability of certain minerals like calcium, milk, and iron. What does this mean? It means that it helps your body actually digest these minerals instead of just creating expensive urine. This is actually a multifunctional probiotic that's effective in alleviating gastrointestinal, immunological, and infectious diseases. Very, very powerful. The next one is Lactobacillus Plantarum, okay? This fights off pollutants, which we are constantly being bombarded with toxins, whether it's from your toothpaste or the food you eat or a skin cream if you're not using Joyum. So it helps fight off pollutants. It boosts iron absorption. So many people, when they say that when they're anemic, it's because they can't absorb the iron that they're actually getting through their food sources. So this boosts iron absorption, improves heart issues, reducing blood pressure, helps out the GI tract by neutralizing harmful bacteria. It diminishes swelling and inflammation in intestinal epithelial cells. And this I thought was so interesting. It can improve the length of time it takes for food to travel from your mouth to your colon to improve digestion. And then, of course, immune system support. Okay, Bacillus coagulans may treat symptoms of irritable bowel syndrome, used to treat diarrhea, which is independent of IBS, may help boost the immune system and stave off virus-induced respiratory tract infections. And this is the kicker for this one. It's able to withstand extreme environments such as high levels of acid in the stomach. And this makes it particularly effective at alleviating stomach distress and other ailments, especially when someone's pH is messed up and their system is more acidic versus alkaline. That's a big deal. Okay. The next one is Saccharomyces Bilardi. Okay, this is actually an antitoxin. It stops toxins being produced by infectious bacteria that make people ill. It's antibacterial. It supports normal gut bacteria. It's anti-inflammatory. It helps regulate immune responses, and it helps restore short chain fatty acid production that keeps guts healthy. Very, 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 very powerful. Okay, let's see. Where am I? Okay. Now, not only do we have these 5 very, very powerful strains of bacteria, but we also have enzymes to actually kill off, to enzymes that break down when yeast has a very hard exoskeleton. It has a biofilm that protects it. And so Probio 5, oh, someone's not, okay, hold on. Okay, where's Paula? Paula to be muted. Okay, there we go. Now I can share back again, share back to my thing. Okay, so we have 4 different enzymes to actually break through the biofilm to get to the yeast, and then the grapeseed extract and the Saccharomyces Bilardi actually kills the yeast. And that's what makes Probio 5 so powerful. It also has vitamin C and B6 that has a huge list of benefits, everything from promoting brain health, PMS, helping with PMS symptoms, reduced inflammation, and improving your mood. Okay, so not only does it have the strains of bacteria, the digestive enzymes, and the antifungals, but it has vitamin C and B6 as well. Okay, so Probio 5 is, again, unlike any other probiotic on the market. Okay, let's talk about BioCleanse. BioCleanse detoxifies the body. Not only does it help rid the body of toxic waste, but it oxygenates the blood. Did you know that disease cannot live in an oxygenated environment? It is a bioavailable form of magnesium, which means that it's in the highest form, highest quality that your body can absorb. It also has vitamin C and bioflavonoids. And here's something that's really, really important that I said about the Probio 5 as well. It raises your pH level to get your body to an alkaline state. That is really important because an acidic state has a huge host of problems. I don't have the time to go into it now, but go ahead and Google pH levels and why it's important for your body to be in an alkaline state, because it gives homeostasis and balance, okay? Now, studies have shown that magnesium supports over 300 cellular functions, not only protein synthesis, muscle and nerve function, blood pressure regulation, but did you know that when you are stressed, your body actually secretes and your body can be depleted of magnesium? Studies show that adequate magnesium can not only calm stress, but improve your mood and enhance sleep. Magnesium is necessary for energy production, cardiac health, and has been linked to the reduction of migraines, osteoporosis, diabetes, blood pressure. It can reduce the risk of stroke and actually reduce sudden cardiac deaths. Very, very powerful. Okay, so that's BioCleanse. Now, let's talk about blood sugar balance. Blood sugar. Okay, so sugar or glucose is the body's main source of energy, and the term blood sugar refers to the amount of energy present in your bloodstream at one given time. Sugar is produced when we break down any form of carbohydrates from oatmeal to candy, and it's absorbed into our bloodstream to be used as a source of energy for the body. So the term blood sugar simply refers to the amount of sugar or glucose in your blood at any given time, okay? Now, to understand blood sugar, you've got to know that your blood sugar is the master controller that dictates your hunger, your cravings, and your energy. We feel our best when our blood sugar is balanced, when it's not too high and not too low. Balanced blood sugar helps keep our brain healthy, our energy stable, and our mood balanced. But when disrupted, our blood sugar can lead to increased sugar cravings, irritability, poor sleep, brain fog, anxiety, low energy, and weight gain. And in the long term, chronic conditions like diabetes. And 1/3 of our population is either diabetic or pre-diabetic. Okay, and it's important to understand that balancing blood sugar is not only important for those with diabetes or severe health conditions, but it's important for everyone. Okay, now your blood sugar is controlled by two main hormones, insulin and glucagon. Okay, every time you eat, your pancreas creates insulin that is, every time you eat, insulin is released into the bloodstream to regulate your blood sugar, okay? Insulin is released into your blood sugar. Insulin is essentially the traffic controller of your bloodstream. It determines how much sugar is kept in our bloodstream and how much sugar is stored in our cells. When you eat carbohydrate-based foods, they are broken down into glucose, which goes into your bloodstream. When this occurs, your pancreas produces insulin to help regulate the amount of sugar in your bloodstream and then transfers the glucose to your cells, specifically liver cells, muscle cells, fat cells. Now, insulin's job is, think of it as a key. It's to unlock the door to your cells so that the glucose can go into the cells and get out of the bloodstream to give your cells what it needs to function. This process helps bring your blood sugar levels back down to a normal range and also provides necessary energy for our cells to function. Okay? Now, when you eat a meal with a lot of sugar or carbohydrates, you end up giving your body more glucose than it actually needs at one time. Now, in a balanced state, the body should be able to regulate this excess glucose and bring down blood sugar levels within an hour or two. But when there's too much sugar because of what you're eating, processed foods, simple carbs, carbohydrate-rich foods are consistently overconsumed, the process becomes stressed. Now, as you eat overconsume carbohydrate-rich foods, your body needs more and more insulin to manage your blood sugar. And eventually your body becomes resistant to this insulin response, which means the insulin is no longer able to unlock your cell door, okay? It's like, you know, the boy that cried wolf, you say boo, and you jump, your daughter says boo again, you jump, and then she keeps saying boo and you're not going to do anything. It's like that. Something that was good now just has no effect, right? Your body becomes resistant to this insulin response. And so excess glucose begins to accumulate in the bloodstream, known as high blood sugar, and the cells become starved for energy because insulin is unable to unlock the doors to let the glucose in. This is known as insulin resistance. Okay, now when you have insulin resistance, many issues arise. Although you may be consuming, carbohydrate-based foods, your cells actually become starved for energy because the insulin cannot unlock the door to allow the glucose to go in. This means that you end up feeling low on energy, craving more sugar and carbohydrate-rich food, just like this graphic shows. You can actually have food in your system and sugar in your system, but your cells are starved because the glucose can't get in because the insulin can't unlock and allow the glucose in your cells. So what happens? The blood sugar's high. Our body doesn't see the need to burn body fat for fuel. Our blood sugar levels encourage fatty acids into the bloodstream to go into fat storage. Basically, more fat cells are being created, and this is where glucose is going to be stored. When you're insulin resistant and your blood sugar is disrupted, you end up with low energy, more cravings, irritable, trouble sleeping, trouble concentrating, all of this. You can get blurred vision, hosts and hosts and hosts of problems. Okay, long-term complications, heart attack, stroke, all of these issues, not to mention diabetes. Did you know that Alzheimer's is actually called diabetes 3 because of its links to high blood sugar and what it does to the brain? Very, very, very scary. And if I had more time, I would go into it. So, how do you regulate blood sugar? Number one, it's what you eat. You've got to, cut out sugar and processed carbs, eat clean. 2, you exercise, particularly strength training, because the increased blood flow will help, excuse me, increase insulin sensitivity. And then, of course, supplements. And that supplement that regulates the blood sugar is our pink drink. It is our Slim. And Slim balances blood sugar through chromium picolinate, a mineral. It reduces inflammation. The alpha lipoic acid, which is actually, your mitochondria actually makes alpha lipoic acids in very small amounts. It actually has more alpha lipoic acid, which acts as an anti-inflammatory, and it has all sorts of health benefits, such as lowering heart disease, slowing the progression of memory loss, and balancing your blood sugar. It helps to burn fat, not muscle. It balances your hormone because insulin is your master hormone and affects all the other hormones as well. And as your hormones get stable because of blood sugar stability, it will thereby reduce inflammation. Now let's briefly talk about the microbiome activating Slim. Not only is it a blood sugar balancing product, but it also is a gut health product because it has a prebiotic in it, our XOS proprietary blend, which is a prebiotic feeder, which basically means it's just food for the good bacteria to keep it alive. And it can increase some bacteria by up to 250%, all the way up to 365%. And the science really is phenomenal. I really encourage you to dig in. We talk a lot about the unholy trifecta, right? Poor gut health, blood sugar imbalance, and inflammation. And studies have shown that there is, we've seen, everybody's heard the phrase inflammation, the silent killer. Well, there is a link between inflammation, insulin, and fat. And as you regulate your blood sugar, inflammation is reduced, and there are also strains of bacteria that reduce inflammatory responses as well. So it's not only a blood sugar issue, it's a gut issue as well. And science has shown us that it's inflammatory responses that create some of our worst health issues. For example, arterial clogging doesn't come from plaque, but it comes from inflammatory changes along the arterial walls based on inflammatory chemicals from our food and gut health. What we put in our mouths either turns on a pro-inflammatory response or turns them off. And this is, again, why it's so necessary to take our supplements, because so many of the foods we eat create that inflammatory response. And listen to this, autoimmune diseases occur when immune system attacks our own tissues, right? So it's the swelling of the tissues that's fighting against itself. So reducing inflammation is critical to ideal health. And that's exactly what our Slim does. By regulating blood sugar, it also reduces inflammation. So let's see. Now, like it or not, what we put in our mouths either turns on the pro-inflammatory response or turns it off. And this, like I just said, that unholy trifecta of poor gut health, blood sugar imbalance, and inflammation is the root of most of our health issues: weight gain, chronic diseases, and chronic pain, which is the #1 cause of long-term disability in the US. The choice of eating healthy along with physical activity and supplementation, and we all know who has the best supplements and is leading the way in our country, is critical to fighting the war against living in a disease state. And hopefully you've seen that what you have in your hands is pure gold and can bring your body and everybody that you know, every man, woman, and child, back into balance with proper time, proper dosages, and consistency. There's so much science. I feel like I barely scratched the surface, but dig in and do the research for yourself. And once you know, you will not be able to keep it to yourself. So dig into the science. Even though you have your story, know that there's a reason you have your story. So dig in, and happy Monday, everybody. That's all I got. And I'm sorry for the technical difficulties. Thank you for your patience. And I hope you guys have a great night.